those things don't necessarily work. I remember like the first time that we fought and we didn't speak for days. I'm talking days, almost a week. I think we've done 1 week before. I don't know if I should be saying this in a video. Well, yeah, we have. And in my head, I'm like, has this marriage ended like this? So based on the standard of like the evaluation of all of this advice that I'm seeing around, does it mean that our situation is doomed, like our marriage is doomed? What is our future going to be? If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I'm not sure what else you want me to do. Like at this point, what do you want? Tell me. If it's in my power to do, I probably would do it. So let me know what you want so that you will hit that subscribe button. Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm about to stop filming because my battery is red. Give me a moment. Hello once again and welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite African auntie back again with some marriage advice that you did not ask for, but you definitely need if you are planning to get married, are just a young girl who wishes to get married in the future, or someone in a marriage that is trying to navigate marriage. This video is going to be very helpful to you. But before we get into the juicy stuff, welcome. If you are new here, please just go ahead and hit the subscribe button because you would love to be a part of this growing community. So just go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you very much. People often say that the first year of marriage is like the honeymoon phase. At least the first few years of marriage is your honeymoon phase, where everything is going fine, you guys are enjoying yourself and just, you know, enjoying the whole marriage thing. But I don't think that it is true. At least it wasn't in my case. My first year of marriage, I struggled. Man, did I struggle. I struggled a lot. It wasn't like I was suffering or anything. It was just, I think that it was a big change for me. One, I never lived alone. I never cohabited with anybody. I have never been in a situation where like I was responsible for all of the decisions. You know, I went to boarding school, I went to uni, so I learned in that process to kind of navigate life as an adult. But being a married adult was a different situation entirely. So I struggled a lot in my marriage, and considering the fact that I didn't know my husband for very long before we got married. I think within the first year of knowing him, we got married, and that 1 year was a long distance situation where we only saw, I think, once, and then the other time that we met, okay, no, twice. And then the other time that we met, it was like marriage stuff. So it was such a weird thing for me getting to live with this person. I thought that I knew my husband. I thought I knew the person I was getting married to. But man, there's just another angle that living together, being married, and just navigating life together teaches you about a person. Things that you would never have learned about the person if the both of you are not in that situation. So it was weird for me. It was a struggle for me, and coupled with the fact that I'm a very stubborn person as well. I'm stuck in my ways, and it's difficult for me to change certain things. So it was not terrible. It was not terrible, but I think that my first day of marriage was or has been like the hardest since I got married. Looking back now with a more knowledgeable expert lens, I kind of see why I struggled as much as I did. I understand now that they were just certain stupid things that I did, and lessons that I have come to learn now that I didn't know then was causing all of the issues that I was having. So those things are the things I'm going to be sharing in this video so that you don't have to go through it. And if you are going through it now, I hope that this video helps you see that you will come out of the other side fine and a more matured married adult. The first thing is that I did not know my husband as much as I thought I did. I already mentioned this. I thought I knew what I was getting into, but I did not. There is just some things that you cannot learn about somebody unless you live with them. Even there are things I didn't know about myself that marriage revealed to me. So because of that, it just puts this doubt in my head, like, did I do the right thing? Did I choose the right person? Am I about to struggle for the rest of my life? Like, what am I going to do if it turns out that this situation that I'm in is a mess. What am I going to do? So like it just brought all of these thoughts to me when I began to realize that there were a lot of things that I had not yet discovered about this person. And to compound things, I am a very big overthinker, and I like to like analyze every negative and every situation before it actually happens. So I was already going through things in my head that had not even happened to me, so it made the whole situation worse. So if you are in that situation, newly married, you're in a relationship, you're wondering what the heck you are doing, you're wondering what the hell this person is all about, I would say don't overthink the things that you are not seeing yet. Don't over imagine things. Only deal with the situation that is in front of you, which was what I decided to do. I knew deep down in my heart that the person that I married was not a bad person. We had similar values. There were things that I saw that made me want to get married to this person. So all of these other things that are on top of that are things that we can talk through. There are things that can change. There are things that I can adapt to, because the same way I have issues with him is the same way he has issues with me too. And we had to find ways to deal with both of our characters that we weren't 100% fine with. You cannot be sure 100% that the person that you are getting married to would not change. You cannot be 100% sure that you know every single thing about a person. So one advice I'm going to give to you is to ensure that the person that you're getting married to is a good person, he's kind, and that the both of your values align. Once your values and your beliefs and the things that you guys hold dear align, it means that those beliefs inform character, it informs thoughts, it informs actions. So you know that whatever they do is not coming from a bad place, it's not coming from a place of bitterness, it's not coming from a place of wanting to, punish you. So there's this reassurance that they have the best intentions for you, so you can just relax in that. I mentioned earlier that I am a very stubborn person. I don't think it's an exaggeration. I actually am very stubborn, and it caused a lot of issues in my marriage because I had boundaries that I wanted to enforce, and it was coming from a place of not starting things that I could not finish, which I think is a good advice. You need to be careful the kind of things that you start at the beginning of something, because sometimes you have to continue doing it till the end, and when you don't do it, it becomes like an issue. So I had like boundaries that I was hell-bent on setting, and because I was so stuck in my ways, it just caused unnecessary fights, it caused unnecessary quarrels, things that I could have compromised on or overlooked. I held on to it. Like I was just so stubborn about certain things, and the fact that I did not pick my battles, which is the second reason why I struggled in my first year of marriage. The fact that I didn't pick my battles, it just caused a lot of unnecessary fights and quarrels. Like it was just so unnecessary. I'm not saying here that having boundaries within your marriage and trying to establish what your no-go areas are, I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I think that it's good and it's essential because it helps your spouse know things about you, as opposed to them just assuming that you'll be fine with certain things or you will do certain things regardless of how uncomfortable it makes you feel. So establishing those things are important because it helps them in whatever it is that they are doing that is relating to you. So boundaries are good, they are fine. But the thing is setting boundaries around things that don't have value, like things that don't matter, things that are not necessary, and sticking to it and not wanting to compromise even when it is essential that you do is where there can be friction. If it's not going to matter in 3 months, in 6 months, in a year, even in a week safe, I don't think that it's what you having like a big fight over. If it is something that you can compromise on those things, pick your battles. It's not everything that you fight about. You're not a wrestler, you're not a boxer. Like you did not come into a ring. It's a marriage, so there should be partnership. It's something that requires the both of you to work So with that in mind, it's important that you are able to compromise and agree to disagree when it is necessary. Another lesson that I've learned now that I didn't know before is that marriage advice is not a one size fits all. I think I kind of knew these things, but like I did not know it in the context of marriage. The fact that something might be like the established truth. Let me give example. So I have come across a lot of posts on social media, counselors like pastors, just people who are knowledgeable, advise couples, young couples not to go to bed angry. That's like an example. There are a lot of people that say, as married people, maybe don't go to bed angry, or no matter how angry you are, the both of you should sleep on the same bed, or don't go one day without talking to each other. You know, like all of those conflict resolution sort of advice. Um, they don't work for everybody. They don't work for everybody. So like advice like that, they are not one size fits all. Personalities are different, situations are different. Every marriage has like its unique quirks. So those things don't necessarily work. I remember like the first time that we fought and we didn't speak for days. I'm talking days, almost a week. I think we've done 1 week before. I don't know if I should be saying this in a video. Well, yeah, we have. There was a point in our marriage where he was living in another country, I was living in another country. So, like, we were not in the same space. I could just go about my day and not bother to say anything or not send a message. So he could do the same thing as well, and it would go on for like days. And I'm in my head, I'm like, so based on the standard of like the evaluation of all of this advice that I'm seeing around, does it mean that our situation is doomed, like our marriage is doomed? What is our future going to be? But now I realize that because our situation was different at the time, we left room for things to like go on for longer than necessary. And because we are different people, we are like, our personalities are different. Somebody would want to talk about things at the time that it's happening and want to resolve it. The other person is not that kind of person. And if you force them to talk at the time when they've not finished processing, when they don't understand like what's the emotion that they are feeling is, if you force them to talk, they might say something that they will regret. So it is important that you give them the time and space that they need to process whatever it is going on in their head. This can be hours, this can be days, this can be weeks, depending on like the gravity of the situation. And I think that it is okay as long as within that time you people are not like doing things intentionally that will hurt the other person. I think that is fine as long as they are just taking the time that they need to be able to come back to the table and you guys will have like a calm, collected conversation. Then I think that is fine. So do not apply all of the advice that you get online in your own situation. Tailor things to your marriage situation, the sort of person that you are, the sort of person that your partner is, what works for you guys. Pick and choose the things that you decide to implement in your marriage, the things that you put as benchmark for what a successful marriage is and what a failure of a marriage is. So that's something else. When you see me talking like this and just expressing all of the thoughts in my head coherently, you would assume that I am a communicator, right? You assume that I'm somebody who is good with communication. Apparently I'm not. Like, I didn't even know how to do that, and it was shocking to me. It was very, very shocking to me because I thought that I knew how to communicate properly, and because in my head I know that I know how to communicate. So all of these things that you're saying, all of this thing that is happening, it cannot have been my fault. It's yours. Like, it has to be your fault. It cannot be mine. That was one thing that I had in my head, and it was just causing so much confusion because in my head I always thought that I was right with certain situations, with certain things that I did and said, with certain things that I did not do and I did not say. It was just causing so much confusion, and the fact that I did not realize that the problem was me and not him, it just made the whole situation worse. I am not the kind of person that would apologize when I did not do anything wrong. And my husband is not that kind of person as well. So if the both of us are not saying eye to eye on the situation, it just caused a lot of conflict. So sometimes it's good to introspect. The things that you think you know about yourself, they might be a lie, or maybe not a lie. In the context of marriage, it is probably not true. And it's okay to accept that sometimes you are the problem. And once you realize that, it makes you evaluate situations from both angles whenever conflict arises, which is something that I began to do. So when a situation happens, when there's a disagreement, I would look at it from the eye of, okay, I know what he did that pissed me off. I know that, like, if you ask me to recite it, I'll recite it from beginning to end. But if I was in a situation, how did my response trigger him? You know, how did my actions, or maybe what I did or did not do, how did that cause him to act the way that he acts that offended me? You know, you begin to analyze, put yourself in the other person's shoes and see that, okay, their anger is not just coming from the air. It's valid, it's substantial. You have to recognize their own feelings as well and apologize. It can be hard, but you just have to do it for peace to reign. An amazing thing that you know yourself. It's an amazing thing that you are self-conscious, but also leave room for people to be able to approach you and tell you the things that you are doing wrong, and be open to corrections and be quick to apologize. There's no point hammering on things that every other person around you sees is a problem and you are the only one that does not see it. It's like every other person cannot be wrong. Like, even if you know that thing about yourself, once 1, 2, 3 people have said the opposite, then I think that you need to reevaluate that stance. The fifth and final thing is that I wasn't ready for marriage. In as much as I thought I was, I really wasn't, because I did not think that I realized the sacrifice that it would take. I did not think that I realized the work that it's going to take. And at the time, I thought I was ready. You know, I've known this person a period of time. I loved him. I thought we were ready for the next step, and maybe we were at the time when we were doing the do, like when we were going ahead with the marriage preparations and actually getting married. We thought we were ready, but being in the marriage, you then realize that maybe there's something I should have learned before I came into this thing. Maybe I should have done this other thing before I came into this thing. Because this thing now, I need somebody else's permission to do this. I need to consider what our situation is before I decide to go here. You know, it's just like I wasn't ready for all of the consideration that I had to put, especially with like plans that I had. Like, there were a lot of things that you would just have to reconsider based on marriage. And looking back now, I think that nobody is ever ready for marriage, at least in my opinion. I can't speak for everybody, I don't know, but like there are a lot of realizations that you come to when you are actually in a marriage, that you'll be like, did I really think about this thing before I got into this thing? You know, so I can honestly say now that I wasn't ready. But the good news is, as long as you are in it, you will find a way out of it. No, not out of the marriage, like you will find a way out of like whatever situation that you are struggling with. As long as your mind is in the marriage, as long as your partner is in it with you, you guys will always find a way. And that's the beautiful thing about marriage, the fact that you don't have to do it alone any longer. There's somebody else that can help, which is why it is important that you get married to a good person. Like, their intention for you is good. You are not just there as an accessory, you are not just there as whatever. They see you as a human being that has value, and they treat you as such. Every other situation, I believe, can be resolved once the both of you are in it. If you're watching this video and you're a married person, can you let me know in the comment section one thing that you did not know until you got into your marriage? Just let me know, just that one lesson that marriage taught you, especially in the beginning. I would love to know in the comment section. And if you are looking forward to getting married, please let me know in the comment section what you are most looking forward to in marriage. I would love to know in the comment section. Let's have like a discussion, a conversation down there. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed. I hope that you learned one or two things. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, I'm not sure what else you want me to do. Like at this point, what do you want? Tell me. If it's in my power to do, I probably would do it. So let me know what you want so that you will hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video.